contender in this division? I mean, that was an impressive victory for you. And do you feel like you're ready for some of the more elite guys?
I think so. I want to fight a ranked guy, like I know Sergey was ranked. I just want to fight guys that are, around my ranking. I believe in earning your title shot. I don't believe in the hype train pushing you to a title shot. I believe in earning it. So I want to fight the guy above me. Some guy who just interviewed me, he brought up Blago Ivanov. That's a fight I would love. He's a very durable guy. I have a lot of respect for him. He's been around for a long time, and he is so tough. And I want to see if my power and speed, I want to see how that does against someone like that.
Yeah, that would be an interesting fight. When you look at the very top guys, the guys at the top of the division, what do you think is the next step for you to get there? Where do you have to improve to make that leap?
I need a lot more experience before I fight them guys. I'm not ready for them guys yet. This doesn't mean I'm not confident. This does not mean I'm not confident. This means I'm very confident in my ability, but I'm also confident that I need to be ready to beat these guys. So I'm not in a rush. I've just turned 28. I've got another 10 years, and people better get used to seeing me around because I ain't going anywhere.
And I know it had to be disappointing not to be in London and have a big crowd going crazy there. You had a few, fans here that were cheering your name. I mean, what was it like, knowing that mentally when you were in London, what a big ovation you would have gotten and how, keyed up you would have been compared to doing it here with a very small crowd?
Well, that's what I've been saying all week is I want to fight in front of a crowd because I don't know how I'm going to react with 20,000 people screaming, booing, throwing drinks, having a piss in a cup and throwing it. I don't know how I'm going to react to that. I've never done that before. The most people I've fought in front of is 1,000, maybe 1,500. So I want that to be the next step in my career is fighting in front of people because I don't want to be getting up to the top 10 and top 5 and never fought in front of anybody before. So when this London card was cancelled, I was upset because I'm not just in this thing to learn, like to win fights and smash people and all that. I'm in that for that as well, but I'm also in this thing to learn about myself. And I don't know how I'm going to react, so I'd like to do that next for sure.
And finally, for me, you didn't think it was going to be a problem in terms of late switch of opponent, but now that you're in there, I mean, did it work out the way you kind of thought, and did you feel like things went the way you had trained for?
Yeah, well, I've actually trained for Spivak before, even though we didn't fight, so I know what Spivak's all about. Spivak's a very, very durable guy. To be honest with you, I'm not trying to sound like cocky or anything, but I was in first gear in that fight because I know that he waits for his opponents to get tired before he starts to attack. So I was just taking my time in there, man. I wasn't doing no explosive movements or throwing a million shots. I was just in there playing and feeling my way into the fight, really. So, but massive respect to Sergey, man, taking the fight on a week's notice. What a man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Tom. Were you surprised that, we know that Sergey's a durable guy. Were you surprised that when you landed the elbow that he went down, or did you, as soon as you connected, you knew, oh, that got him?
My elbow is actually a bit sore leaning on it like this. The guy's got a tough head. No, he didn't see the elbow. That's why it hurt him, because I threw the knee into the body, I believe, and then an elbow over the top. So it's the ones that you don't see. I don't have crazy power. I'm not like a Francis Ngannou or anything like that. I'm just super, super fast. And these guys don't see the shots, so that's the ones that hurt these guys.
Did he land a punch on you in that fight?
Don't think so.
But you mentioned in the cage your hand was you hit him first. How bad is it? Is it feeling a little bit better now, or?
Oscar, do I look like an X-ray machine?
No.
No, I've broke my hands before. I broke both of my hands before. I don't think I broke my hand. Maybe the knuckle. Maybe I broke my knuckle, so it's not too bad.
Are you happy that now this chapter, the Sergey Spivak chapter, is finally closed?
I've put it to bed. The people of Las Vegas and worldwide can rest. It's put to bed.
Mystic Tom, congrats on the victory. You told the Schmo earlier this week you were going to get him with an elbow. You thought it'd be from your back, but you got him standing.
Elbows are sweet, aren't they? Elbows are a brutal thing. Big guy like me throwing elbows towards your face, it's bad news. Any heavyweights throwing elbows, it's going to be damage in it. So, and I know that he keeps his head in the middle a lot, so it's perfect for elbows.
We've yet to see you in a third round in your professional career. Barely any fights in the second round. When your gas tank gets tested, do you think you'll feel extra level of satisfaction? Can't say that word. Satisfied for getting that victory?
I think so, yeah. I've been training with small guys for forever, basically. I bring the big guys into spar, but mainly I train with the small guys, and I can keep up with them guys. So the cardio is there, but I know that doing it in the gym and doing it in the fight is two different things. That's why I want to fight someone like veterans, because they don't just fall over. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna be around. Saying that, Sergey doesn't just fall over either. Do you know what I mean? It was a good shot that I hit him with, but someone like Blagoy or somebody like that, them guys are just durable as hell. So I want to test. I want to see what I'm like. I see these people, these comments and stuff. I try not to read them, but I can't help myself sometimes. And people saying, "Oh, you know, let's see him fight a wrestler." Well, I just fought a wrestler. Let's see how his cardio is. Well, I don't actually know how my cardio is yet. I want to see as well, so let's test it.
And the last question is, do you have enough big bodies in the UK to test you for you to take the next level in the heavyweight division and compete for the championship?
I do not know, but I'm doing well so far. So this camp was a little bit different. I actually paid some guys to come in. I was mixing it up. My brother, he's also a big dude. We do a lot of training in my dad's garage for you American watchers out there. And yeah, me and my brother are in a small space and with my dad. And there's a lot of big guys in the gym as well. I've been bringing big guys in to spar, and I've got a good variety of guys over there to train with for sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tom, are you aware that you won the 50 grand bonus?
I am, and I just cried. And I think it's on camera, so get the views up on that. Make sure you share
Do it again
No,
so we can
man,
get it, please.
honestly, for anyone who doesn't know, I've got a missus, I've got 3 small kids, and I'm just trying to buy a house, man. Like I'm just a normal guy. I'm just trying to get by in this world and look after my children and look after my family. I need that money just as much as anybody else, and man, it's like a dream. I appreciate it so much.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Are we done? Thank you.
Hey, Derek, over to your right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I guess Blonde Brunson is here to stay, 3-0 with the blonde top.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Blonde Brunson is no mythical character. Yeah, it's here to stay, and we performing well.
Till had said and made a big point a lot about it, if you tried to take him down, how difficult it was going to be, how much energy you would expend, and it didn't seem to turn out to be that difficult. How was it in the ring? You know, I mean, I saw you had the one good takedown defense there, but for the most part, it seemed like you got him down when you wanted to. How did he feel?
Well, that's anybody in the division. You know, it's about taking my time, really setting it up. You know, I wasn't out here lunging for takedowns. I was kind of setting my takedowns up. It was predicating off their striking and overzealousness. So it's just about maturing and focusing on my wrestling in the camp, how to really make it effortless.
In the third round when he hit you with that left hand, how bad was it?
It wasn't that bad, man. I'm like, can everybody shut up? And Darren Till, can you stop swarming me right now? I'm not really that hurt, you know. But whenever a guy think they got you really, really hurt, they're gonna, you know, go really strong. But at the same time, I'm trying to like bob and weave punches and really like slow the onslaught down.
What do you think would be the difference if you mentioned Izzy in the cage, right? What would be the difference this time compared to last time? Obviously it wasn't your best performance the last time out. What do you think you would do different if you saw him now that you've been in there with him once?
Just really, taking my time. This camp, I wasn't as sharp as I like to be with the stand-up. My stand-up is a lot better than I was able to show it tonight. I was able to get a few things off on the feet. Came with, uppercut, and I saw some openings. But I like to be sharper. I was injured for like the last 3 weeks of this camp, so I think with that time to spar and really prepare, then my stand-up is looking really good, and I can really pose a threat to Izzy on the feet and definitely on the ground.
And just, to get you to comment on Till, when you look at him as a guy in the division, I mean, he's got a lot of hype. He's, highly ranked, and yet he's lost 4 out of his last 5. Do you see this guy being a threat if he can make a few adjustments? And do you think that Darren Till is a guy that kind of can do what you did and get things turned around and come back?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel bad for Till. I actually like the guy. I feel he's like a badass kid. Say he's like edgy things on Twitter, Instagram, but I think overall he's like a good person. You know what I mean? He's like really, really, really funny. So yeah, I think the guy can pull it together. It's small things. He's really explosive, really good on the feet. He has really good feints, very confident. It's just the small things that he need to adjust, Even maybe, thinking about 170 or just maybe fine-tuning some of the wrestling things or some of the defenses, because if he's able to keep it on the feet, he can do a lot better. And
last for me, you said in the cage, you're not broke. But when you mention you're not broke, I think of Jared Cannonier, of course. And it's going to be a while before, they fight and then for you to get in there. So would you consider Cannonier to, because you may not even move up in the rankings, right? You fought somebody below you. You may not move up. Do you feel like if they came to you and said, hey, we want you to fight Cannonier, would you be interested in that or no?
I mean, I can use a tune-up with one of the Jake Paul brothers or something. Maybe Dana White will loan me to, like, the Thriller. I can fight one of those guys, or maybe I can wait to Israel and Whitaker fight in, early next year and fight in March or April, We have some options, Cannonier isn't completely off the table. I've been adamant about asking for, like, the toughest guys in the division, and I asked for Paulo Costa. The UFC sent him a contract. He didn't sign it, So if I would have got that fight, I would have been definitely next for the title. So, I'm doing all this work. I definitely want to be rewarded. I've never got a title shot in my career.
Thank you. Derek, I just want to follow up on Kevin's question about Darren's ability. Did you know his takedown defense was going to be that good, or did you kind of judge it correctly? How did you even rate his takedown defense?
His takedown defense was okay. He did a good job of digging those underhooks. I got pretty good finishes, with the chain wrestling, like just really attacking. So I can't really say his takedown defense was really bad. I just chained together attacks really good. So, I kind of know what it takes to take somebody down. So, it's some things that he can look back and he can improve on and work on those things and be better for his fights going forward.
I'm just curious, as you said, he can turn things around and climb the rankings, but where would you rank him right now in the middleweight division? Do you think he's just got some holes in his game that are going to make him struggle, or do you think he's as good as some of the other guys? No,
he's as good as some of the other guys. Him and Whitaker had a pretty decently close fight. I mean, he dropped Robert Whitaker in their fight. So yeah, man, they went 5 rounds and nobody got finished there. I was able to impose my will and get the finish. So you definitely have to take something from that fact that Whitaker's fighting for a title, and his last fight was against Whitaker, and it went 5 rounds. He dropped him. He had some good moments in that fight.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You mentioned having injuries in your camp. I was wondering if you could elaborate that and kind of explain, how that affected your camp and maybe even a little bit in this fight.
Yeah, I had a rib injury. I thought I broke my ribs. Like this, I got kicked in the ribs like really hard with someone's toe. This guy was about 240, so it was kind of like a bad thing sparring with somebody so heavy when I'm really getting my body down to like my fight weight. I'm getting ready to compete. But yeah, man, I thought I broke my ribs, and the last 3 weeks to the camp, I couldn't spar. I had to kind of do conditioning, hit pads. I took a whole week off, so I only really had like 2 weeks to prepare. So yeah, it was a little tough, but that's a part of the fight game. We were confident with what we were doing and kind of relying on that.
There was no hesitation taking the fight due to that injury.
Yeah, it was close. I mean, it was thought about. It was like, can we push this fight back, or where are we at with this fight? Because his injury is pretty bad. It pretty much stopped my training camp. So.